Hi everybody. In the previous class we have completed up to stomach, and today we are proceeding with small intestine. We are proceeding with small intestine. Okay. Small intestine. Okay. Before we are going to see small intestine, I need to explain you with a diagram. Okay, in the previous class I have told you that the tubular structure starts from the esophagus. It starts from the esophagus, and the opening is known as gullet, It is gullet, and it opens into the stomach. And stomach is slightly oblique in structure. It is slightly oblique in structure, and we call it as flattened J shape. Okay, and this part. So esophagus starts with gullet and ends in stomach with a circular muscle or sphincter known as cardiac sphincter or esophageal gastric sphincter. So this is cardiac sphincter. Okay, esophagus starts with gullet and ends in cardiac sphincter, and the stomach continues with esophagus, and it is flattened J shape. It is flattened J shape. Okay, and here you can see this part is known as fundus. The bulging part of stomach is fundus, and since it is towards the heart, we call it as cardiac, and the main part is known as body, and the ending part is known as pylorus, and it is regulated again by a sphincter known as pyloric sphincter. Here the brown color I have drawn in brown color, it is small intestine, and in white this is large intestine. So we are going to deal with small intestine today and large intestine. Before that, okay, one more thing I need to tell you that this esophagus is made up of two different muscles. First one third of the esophagus, the upper part of esophagus is made up of skeletal muscles. And the lower one third part of esophagus is again made up of smooth muscles. Okay, smooth muscles. Lower one third smooth muscles, upper one third skeletal muscles, and the middle one third is made up of both skeletal and smooth muscles. Okay, upper one third is skeletal muscles only, lower one third is only smooth muscles, and the middle part, one third of the middle part is made up of skeletal and smooth muscles. See, skeletal muscles are known as voluntary muscles. Okay, they are voluntary muscles. That means they are under our control. They are under our control. When we put water in our mouth and regurgitate, what happens? Due to the skeletal muscles, we are able to control the water that is present in our mouth. So when we try to regurgitate, the water is not swallowed because we are able to control by the help of skeletal muscle. Once it crosses to certain level of the esophagus, like it completes the skeletal muscles, okay, and it starts towards the smooth muscles. Okay, once if it starts, that movement is not in our control. That's why we swallow the water sometimes when we are regurgitating. So smooth muscles are not in our control. That's why involuntary movement takes place, and skeletal muscles voluntary movement. Skeletal muscles are in our control. Okay, we will be discussing all these things in control and coordination. Okay, next is the small intestine. It is continuation from the pyloric sphincter of stomach. Okay, and it curves around the pancreas. See here, we will be having what? Pancreas. Around the first intestine. Okay, pancreas. So the small intestine, the first part is known as duodenum. The first part of intestine is duodenum, and it is about 25 centimeter, and it is showing curve shape or C shape. Okay, and it curves around the head of pancreas. Curves around the head of pancreas. Now, okay, so this is not that too coiling. So duodenum is not that much coiling, and the next starts with jejunum. Okay, jejunum is highly coiling. Okay, highly coiling, and the jejunum is followed by ileum. So intestine mainly is of three parts. First part is duodenum. Next part is jejunum, and the last part is ileum. So duodenum, this is duodenum, and the coiling part. Okay, coiling part up to 8 feet. Coiling part up to 8 feet of the intestine, okay, is known as jejunum, and in continuation with jejunum, around 12 feet, about 12 feet, is known as ileum. So this is ileum. The ending part of intestine is ileum, and ileum opens into large intestine. And here is also one sphincter. This sphincter is known as ileocecal, valve, or ileocecal opening we call it as, or ileocecal aperture, ileocecal valve, ileocecal aperture, or else ileocecal opening. So it opens into cecum, this bulging part or first part of large intestine is cecum. It is cecum. That's what its name is, ileocecal valve. Ileum is the last part of small intestine, right? So ileum joins into the cecum. That's why ileocecal valve. This is ileocecal valve. And we find a extension. In the cecum part. This is known as vermiform appendix. Vermiform appendix. Okay, so this vermiform appendix is of no use. Okay, and it is known as vestigial organ. Okay, and we know that small intestine, on the surface of small intestine there are many villi. These villi, they make what? Absorbing surface area. So villi makes large surface area for absorbing. Okay, what they absorb? Digested food. And here duodenum is not coiled. Jejunum is highly coiled. And ileum is also highly coiled. Ileum is highly coiled. Now, small intestine, they are having villi. So let me explain you with a neat diagram. In order to understand better, we will draw diagram of villi because they are present in the small intestine. Okay, so small intestine is having three parts. They are duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, next we will see large intestine. Small intestine opens into large intestine, and this part is cecum. So large intestine starts with cecum. And as it is moving up, we call it as ascending colon. So large intestine has cecum, then followed by ascending, as it is moving up, ascending colon. Okay, then transverse colon, since the food passes in transverse manner. Okay, in transverse position, that's why it is transverse colon. Okay, and the food descends down. So this is descending colon. And the descending colon slightly bends here. So this part is known as what? Sigmoid. This part is known as sigmoid. And finally the sigmoid opens into rectum. finally opens into rectum. And the last part is known as anus. Okay, anus. So anus is guarded by anal sphincter. It is guarded by anal sphincter. So small intestine is having duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Large intestine, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and sigmoid rectum. Okay, and even cecum. Okay, so these are the parts of small intestine and large intestine. So we need to see what? Villi. We need to see villi now. Okay, so alimentary canal starting from esophagus, okay, or tubular structure from esophagus to the last part of alimentary canal. It is having 4 layers, right? 4 layers. Okay, 4 layers: serosa, muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa. Serosa, muscularis, serosa muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa. So villi are present in the mucosa region. So the villi, the mucosa layer is thrown into foldings. Like this. So this layer is known as mucosa layer, and since their foldings, because of their foldings, we call it as villi. Villi are present because they provide large surface area for absorption, and on this surface we will find what? We will find columnar epithelial cells. Or columnar epithelial cells in all the villi. These cells would have what? These cells would have goblet cells like this. Columnar means pillar-like structure, and they would have goblet cells, and their main region is to produce what? Mucus. Now, these villi, they have what? Columnar epithelium, and on top of this columnar epithelium, again, they would have microvilli. Okay, they would have microvilli. See, this is columnar epithelium, and on top of this, they would have what? Microvilli. Okay, because of this microvilli, this layer can be also called it as brush bordered epithelium. Because of the microvilli present on the surface of villi, we can call it as brush bordered epithelium. Okay, and since intestine, they have what? Glands. Since they have glands, they will produce what? Intestinal juices. So these glands secretions are known as intestinal juices. So these glands would be present or seated between villi. So these glands are, okay, there are 2 types of glands actually. Okay, on the surface of mucus layer, one gland present, and one type of gland present, and in the layer of submucosa another gland. In submucosa another gland. In this mucosa another gland. This gland is known as Crypts of liver Khan. Okay, crypts of liver Kuhan. We can say it as crypts of liver Kuhan. They are present between villi. They are present between villi, and these are intestinal gland, and they are present on the surface of mucosa layer. On the surface of mucosa layer. Again, one more gland we are going to see is they are present in submucosal layer, and they are cluster of cells. They are made up of cluster of cells. Okay, this gland is known as Brunner's. This gland is known as Brunner's gland. Brunner's gland. Okay, first gland is crypts of liver Kuhan, and the second gland is Brunner's gland. So these two glands, they will secrete the enzymes. This will the main secretion of crypts of liver Kuhan is enzymes. Okay, its secretions are enzymes, and Brunner's gland secretions are watery substance, along with the secretion of Brunner's gland is alkaline mainly and mucus. Okay, crypts of liver Kuhan, its secretion is enzyme like erupsin, lactase and lipase. Okay, we are going to see all these things in next class with details, because in chemical digestion all these enzymes are required. So we are going to see in next video, next class. Okay, so Brunner's gland, they secrete watery substance, and it is mainly alkaline, and it is mucus. Okay, and it is mucus.